News service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. While Tropical Storm Erin, which is forecasted to become a major hurricane, poses no direct threat to the Bahamas, officials responsible for disaster risk management continue to urge residents to be prepared. Also, Atlantis on Paradise Island is bringing even more to their resort offerings, as announced by the property's developer today. Those details are straight ahead. And officials are continuing to encourage residents nationwide to remain hydrated amid a heat wave that has seen temperatures rise to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Weather topping national news at 11. Tropical storm watches issued for portions of the northern Leeward Islands. Erin is forecasted to become a hurricane by tomorrow. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, the center of the tropical storm was located latitude 16.7 north and longitude 15.2 west, or about 790 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean leads us off tonight at 11 with even more details on Erin, which is powering across the Atlantic. Good evening, Basil. What can you tell us?
Good evening, Royston. Right now, Erin is just over 680 miles an hour to the east of the northern Leeward Islands, continuing on that westward track at some 17 miles per hour. But a further shift towards the west-northwest is anticipated later on tonight, or certainly by tomorrow. And should that take place, that would begin that turn towards the north. And by the weekend, by Sunday, we should see a sharp turn towards the northwest. And once that takes place, should it take place, that will certainly keep Erin well to the east of the Bahamas. So no direct impact from it, but certainly we will have some very large swells being generated by Erin as it pushes off towards the north, particularly those more easterly islands. We're talking about Abaco, Eleuthera, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, also Crooked Island, Acklands, Maguana. All of these islands will experience a very large swells as we head into next week. So we'll keep that in mind. Also, we expect Erin to become a major hurricane by the weekend, and that will be packing winds in excess of 111 miles per hour. And that's going to do it right now for what we anticipate in the tropics. Otherwise, well, we're going to end right there.
Thank you very much, Basil. While it's still too early to predict the path of Tropical Storm Erin, that's expected to become a hurricane in a matter of hours. Disaster Risk Management Authority officials are closely watching the storm's path. Managing Director Aaron Sargent assures the country that the National Response Plan is ready to be activated whenever necessary. During a press conference this afternoon at the Office of the Prime Minister, he also outlined shelter management, verifying that an estimated 144 shelters are listed on the updated National Shelter List, although a small number of them that didn't meet their requirements were removed.
We're encouraging residents to know where their shelters are, that there are secondary shelters because that shelter might be full by the time that you might get there. And so, yes, we are working on developing or strengthening the capacity in terms of shelters in country. We know that the number is small when you compare to policy, in terms of population, sorry, but we're encouraging residents to know their shelters in their area.
But the message of preparation is paramount as the Disaster Risk Management Authority implores residents to get ready now.
inspect your yards, review your family emergency plans, know where your nearest shelters are. And again, you can visit getready.gov.bs to find the necessary resources to help you and your families to prepare. But not to wait. Check the infrastructure around your homes. Know what to do with other family members, because we find that in these times, buddy systems help. So knowing whether or not you need medication and the like to ride out, or whether any natural hazard threat.
With more than 3,800 rooms, over 40 restaurants and bars, an expansive marina, and an 18-hole championship golf course, as well as its 141-acre water park, Atlantis Paradise Island Resort truly reigns supreme in the domestic and international hotel sector. And the big news today, the property's developers announced their plans to expand the resort even more, all in an effort to continue serving as a cornerstone in the country's #1 industry. Altavis Munnings has this report.
On Thursday, global investment firm Brookfield Corporation announced the successful completion of a $1.93 billion refinancing of Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. Atlantis' developers are planning an additional $475 million in capital improvements over the next 5 years. That includes a full renovation of the Cove in 2026, upgrading guest rooms, public areas, pools, and dining venues, as well as a series of high-impact projects across the resort aimed at elevating the guest experience and strengthening Atlantis' competitive position. According to Brookfield, these investments are expected to create hundreds of local construction jobs and support new long-term employment opportunities for Bahamians. Atlantis is the largest private sector employer in the Bahamas, with approximately 6,200 team members, and more than 20% of Atlantis employees have been with the resort for over 2 decades. Brookfield is also exploring strategic development opportunities across 46 acres of land adjacent to Atlantis and evaluating plans to redevelop the former beach tower. Now, since 2020, Brookfield has invested more than $260 million to enhance Atlantis' position as one of the world's premier destination resorts. Brookfield's refinancing of Atlantis is welcomed by the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, who endorses the creation of hundreds of construction jobs and supports long-term employment. The Ministry of Tourism, Minister Cooper maintains, welcomes partnerships that help strengthen workforce readiness while supporting sustainable growth across the industry. Atlantis Paradise Island Resort officially opened in the Bahamas in December 1994 and has since become a landmark destination on Paradise Island. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings.
Thanks, Altavis. Numerous demolition orders given to a number of residents in an unregulated community located south of Faith Avenue. Montgomery shantytown residents told our Lloyd Allen that they are now forced to find alternative housing.
Over 135 of these notices have been attached around this Montgomery shantytown by officials just yesterday, indicating to residents that these illegal structures are now being taken down by government, and with the occupants given just 28 days to do so.
26 days too small. Give me all 3 months.
ZNS News spoke with a resident living in the unregulated community off Cowpen Road who wants to comply with the request. But finding a new home, he says, is a challenge. Social Services was present with a mandate to assist specific occupants.
Well, our mission here today was to go throughout the unregulated communities along with the team of social workers to see who were in the communities who the Department of Social Services is able to assist. Bearing in mind the assistance provided by the Department of Social Services is for persons who are Bahamian citizens or with permanent residence.
Social worker Deborah Smith also noting a number of children as residents.
We estimated about 50. About 50, and from looking on, it seemed to be about 150 or so persons that are in the community, bearing in mind that many of them were not at home.
The notice referenced the Building Regulations Act, Chapter 200. Due to construction without a valid building permit, all of the 135-plus structures were given 28 days as of August 13th to be dismantled or will be demolished, giving those residents until September 9th to find new residences, as those structures will be demolished. The Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, through its unregulated task force, this year has already demolished 6 shanty towns, 3 in New Providence, 2 in Abaco, and 1 in Eleuthera. with others also being assessed throughout the country. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
This is a story we will continue to follow. Thanks, Lloyd. A family of 7, including a pregnant relative, still reeling from a fire Wednesday that cost them everything: their home, thousands of dollars, and even their church. The family's patriarch gave our Daniel Dean this update on his future plans.
The reality for Emmanuel Tybos and family is just now settling in following a raging fire that ravaged through their apartment and forced them to stop all of their church's activities.
And I can still speak in the gospel, God. That can't stop me. That give me more stronger and speak the gospel in the name of Jesus.
Tybos, who lived upstairs, remembers praying in the East Street church he leads as bishop. House of Bethlehem Ministries International, Winniganap Street vendor operating just in front of the 2-story building, interrupted with the worst news. It was then he sprinted up to the family's apartment only to meet his family, including his wife, who's in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy, running towards him. His brother, the brother's wife, and their child living on the lower level. Now, for his immediate family, he says the 7 of them only managed to escape with the clothes on their back, but luckily a family friend was able to provide 1 or 2 outfits for each of them. But the father and husband says, unfortunately, Wednesday night, they resorted to sleeping in their vehicle on a local beach. Even Tybos's routine Wednesday prayer meeting had to be indefinitely cancelled beginning the night of the tragedy.
Full of water because the water come from upstairs. When they kill the fire, everything messed up in the church. I lose everything in there.
Thankfully, the family has already received short-term assistance.
Chauffeur service and stuff, like, they give me a place to sleep. The letter rigged in the car. I don't know how long they allow me and stay there. After whatever they give me, I have to be a man. Go work for, that's what the Bible said. From you some man, you have to go work to your own.
Now the latest from fire chiefs just 1 day later is, of course, investigations are still ongoing. Reporting from East Street for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Danielle. 7 Haitian men appeared in Magistrates Court number 2 before Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe today on charges of overstaying. All pleaded guilty and were convicted. They were levied $5,500 in fines or served between 3 and 6 months at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. All individuals were ordered to be handed over to the Department of Immigration for deportation upon payment of fines or completion of sentences. Immigration officials also revealed that shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, 3 flights departed New Providence carrying 12 Haitians, 9 women and 2 men to Cap Haitien, Haiti, and 1 Dominican man to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Between August 8th and 12th, 29 foreigners were deported from New Providence to Haiti, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Cape Verde, Ghana, and Mexico. Still to come, a heat warning is in effect. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Welcome to the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025, the gateway to abundant opportunity, the platform for more, access to a continent with more makers and creators, more technology and manufacturing capabilities, more innovators and collaborators, more information and knowledge, a continent of opportunities for business in more markets and resources that accelerate progress and create space for more infrastructure, connectivity and networking, more creativity, production, and more deals for the people. Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AFCFTA Secretariat, brings you the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair, hosted by the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Over 2,000 exhibitors, 35,000 plus attendees, 140 plus countries, $44 billion in trade and investment opportunities. Register now and enter the gateway to new opportunities.
A compendium of health bills debated in the Senate this morning. The goal is to approve legislation that will ensure Bahamians receive adequate health care on all levels. Amaya Moss reports.
Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, spoke on the compendium of healthcare bills, describing the legislative package as an important measure, underscoring that health is essential for all Bahamians.
We all recognize that healthcare is a basic need, and chief amongst the responsibilities of any government is to ensure that its citizens have access to healthcare, so that healthcare is accessible, it's affordable, and it's adequate.
Halkitis noted that the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted vulnerabilities in our healthcare system.
COVID-19 laid bare our healthcare woes to the nation and to the world. It caused the diversion of critical resources to treat and fight the pandemic. And unfortunately, what that meant was the continuing attention to health issues like chronic non-communicable diseases, the diabetes treatment, the healthcare treatment. They almost had to take, or in some instances, take a back seat as we fought the healthcare, the COVID-19 pandemic. In the years since, and though the worst of COVID-19 may be behind us, our healthcare issues remain. It is against this backdrop that we debate the compendium of 5 bills before us today that I listed, which represents, in my mind, undeniable progress.
Halkitis acknowledged that substantial funding and resources are needed to restore health care to normal operations. He is confident that the challenges in delivering adequate health care to the Bahamian public will be overcome. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks, Amaya. During debate, Free National Movement Senator the Honorable Maxine Seymour made it clear that now is the time for the Bahamas to fix its supply and demand chain and pay close attention to stock levels when it comes to the ordering of various drugs for pharmacies across our nation.
We have to make sure that, we diversify, because drug shortages around the world are impacting countries. And so we're no different, because at the end of the day, we're going to be impacted. So when we talk about trade and expanding we have to find ways to really buy high quality drugs from other markets, or do whatever it takes to make sure that the supply chain is working properly and fully.
The Met Office urging residents nationwide to remain hydrated during a heat wave that's now in effect for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, propelling daytime high temperatures over the 100-degree Fahrenheit mark. Our Lloyd Allen was on the road enduring some heat today and checking in with the public on how they're prepared to battle these scorching conditions.
Temperatures in the Bahamas today reaching as high as 90 degrees, but that's some good news for tourists like these ones behind me coming to Arawaki to catch some sun. But Bahamians across New Providence finding ways to stay in the cool and fight some of this summer heat.
First of all, I always wear a long sleeve. Some people might say it keeps you hotter, but it actually keeps you cooler because less of your skin is exposed to the sun.
From the Meteorology Office Thursday, a heat warning issued for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands of a severe heat wave, with temperatures feeling anywhere between 112 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, while the remainder of the Bahamas will experience feel-like temperatures between 102 and 111 degrees for the next 3 to 5 days. Local construction mason Anton Joseph says he has felt the heat intensifying over recent days and continues a regimen for himself and his team to remain hydrated.
We also have a big container cooler over there filled with ice and nice cold water. So make sure the guys stay hydrated. And now and again, we take a break and go and sit in the shade.
While much of their time at work is outdoors in direct sunlight, Joseph also indicating that appropriate headgear is also essential to fighting the heat. Now, around town, we saw a number of Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority workers also taking a reprieve to beat the heat. A different story, though, for visitors at the beach.
We're from New York, so there's a lot of humidity out here. This is a different type of heat, so I'm not really tripping over this.
We've been here 3-4 hours now. I think the ship docked at 8 o'clock, so I've been out in the beach for probably like 2 hours now, but I'm doing okay.
Reporting from Arawaki for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Good to see visitors enjoying the heat, but a reminder to take those warnings seriously as heat stroke can be potentially fatal. In other news, known as the world's bone fishing capital, Andros is the primary hub for the country's fly fishing industry. Officials of the Small Business Development Center and their partners held a special ceremony in the Big Yard yesterday to distribute the grants that will greatly support these entrepreneurs. Felicity Darville has this report from Andros.
Nearly $1 million injected into fly fishing in the Bahamas, and Bahamians will be the owners. The Small Business Development Center partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources and the Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association to award 27 Bahamian businesses from throughout the Family Islands with $823,644 to support the fly fishing industry. It's a landmark event that supports an industry contributing over $170 million to the country's economy annually. SBDC's Executive Director, Samantha Roll.
It is truly a monumental moment. And I say that because it goes beyond just providing grant funding to entrepreneurs. We're talking about an industry that caters to the top 1%, to the elite. And for Bahamians to have ownership in that industry. Bahamians for the Bahamas.
Member of Parliament for Central and South Andros and Mangrove Key, the Honourable Leon Lundy, is excited about the impact these fly fishing grants will have.
It'll be very impactful because it'll help their business to grow and actually to invite those who are just getting into the business to get some equipment. It's a great lucrative business and definitely it'll help the economy of the islands and help them propel forward in their businesses also.
David Nemore of Cappy Boys Guiding Services in Bering Point, Andros, agrees.
Definitely this will provide growth for not only my company, but for persons in the area. As we know, this is a $150+ million industry. So everything that's granted to Bahamians will trickle down into our society and these local economies and trickle down even to the younger person.
It's a proud moment for Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association President Prescott Smith.
This is a significant step for our country. This is historic. It's never happened before in our history, and I'm happy to see that attention is being paid to an industry that has so much potential to develop so many entrepreneurs in many areas. It's not just the lodging or the guiding. You have so many areas that are attached to these resources that will be developed as a result of the investment being made.
From the Andros Island Bone Fishing Club, one of the oldest lodges in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I'm Felicity Darville for the Bahamas Tonight.
Wishing all of those entrepreneurs all the best in their new industry. Thanks for that, Felicity. Al-Majal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Al-Majal?
And the Caribbean Hoop Fest set to tip off this weekend. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas. Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Welcome to Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports this weekend. The Caribbean Hoop Fest set to tip off over at Loyola Hall. The showcase returns to the beautiful shores of the Bahamas for the third time. This year's event is set to showcase the best of basketball talent with teams from around the globe, including New York, and of course our local squads from Nassau and Freeport. Organizer Donald Francois tells us more.
We have teams from Canada, got teams from the U.S., we have Freeport coming in, some of the kids in Freeport, and we have the national team, the 15 and under, and the 17 and under coming to participate in this tournament. It's becoming more international. A lot of outside teams are coming in, and what we're trying to do is, we're from New York City. We also affiliate with Lehigh. I'm at Archbishop Malloy, and we have affiliates across the board for scouting reason. Players that want to, have dreams of playing D1, D2, and maybe even go pro.
With Francois being a high school coach out of New York and seeing BJ Edgecombe's rise to fame, he says he certainly is impressed with the talent that the Bahamas possesses.
I go all over the world, and I think Bahamians, they got it. They're athletic. I don't have no words. They have opportunity to really make an impact in this sports. Not even basketball. There's other sports that we deal with, but the main one's basketball. But they have all the opportunity to make a big impact in this community of basketball. That's why, I always come back here.
On hoops, Zion Thompson making a name for himself, attending Florida Prep Academy in Melbourne, Florida. Recently caught up with the class of 2027 point guard, who spoke about adapting to the U.S. high school hoop scene.
The competition compared to the U.S. or the Bahamas is a lot more faster, physical. We have smarter players. The IQ is on a different level. Overall, it's a great game. You have to love the game in order to continue pushing through, because it's going to come with a lot of challenges.
He also spoke about working his way back from a serious injury.
The mental part was, frustrating, because you want to be at your best all the time, but God just has some things that you have to push through. He's going to give you that challenge. But that was just my challenge, and I had to work. I had to work through all the hurting hip injury. It was just difficult. But how I got through it, just a lot of stretching. You have to drink a lot of water, hydrate your body, and, do what you can to be the best of your abilities.
More from the pool over in Paraguay. Lamar Taylor on the medal podium yet again at the 2025 Junior Pan Am Games. A day after storming to a bronze in the men's 100-meter free, he came back and won a silver today in the men's 50 free, finishing second in 22.11 seconds. Taylor had the third fastest reaction time in the field and glided the length of the pool to record one of his fastest times ever. Also competing for the Bahamas would be Marvin Johnson in the men's 50-meter free. He qualified for the B final and finished tied for first in that event with Christian Ramos of the Dominican Republic at a time of 23.05 seconds. And that's one look at your sports on this Thursday. Until tomorrow, I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
It's now that time for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. As usual, we'll get you started in the tropics, and we have a tropical storm. Erin getting a little ahead of myself here, but by tomorrow we anticipate that Erin will become a hurricane, the first for the tropical cyclone season. Right now, it is backing winds of 60 miles per hour, and that is getting very close to the threshold of a hurricane category, and it's moving towards the west. No change there at 17 miles per hour, but by tomorrow, we should see a shift towards the west-northwest. And that trend should continue as we head into the weekend with a further shift towards the northwest. And once that takes place, it should keep it well to the east of the Bahamas. So we will continue to watch and see whether or not that turn takes place that we are anticipating. And our temperatures around the Family Islands this evening: Marshall, Abaco 83, 82 in Green, Tulkey, Freeport, Grand Bahama at 82 degrees as well, 86 in the Berry Islands, Allenstown, Bimini, 84 degrees, 86 in Harbour Island, Rock, Sandy, Lutra, 84, Otterstown, Kid Island at 82, 85 in Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space at Andros, Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 84 degrees. And that would take you a little further south. George, Shanty, Exuma, 85. Rum Key and San Salvador, 82 degrees. Betsy Bay may go on at 84. Crooked Island, Clarence Long Island, and Ragged Island at 85 degrees. Acklands, 84. Matsutown, Inagua, 85. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And our satellite pictures are showing now well-defined tropical storm Erin. It's well organized and pushing towards the west, getting very close to the northern Leeward Islands. So they will certainly have some issues there over the next 24 to 36 hours. And our forecast tonight, we're simply looking at partly cloudy, very warm conditions again tonight. Low temperature, 81 degrees. And tomorrow, partial sunshine in the mix with a high temperature of 91 degrees. So once again, we're reminding you to keep yourself hydrated, because when you combine this with the high relative humidities that we have been experiencing and will continue to experience for the next few days, it's going to be in the low to mid triple digits. So we're looking anywhere between 106 and 112 degrees Fahrenheit. That is extremely warm. You want to remain indoors as much as you can, and if possible, wear light clothing and make sure those clothing are also very much on the loose side as well to allow your body to breathe. And then on Saturday, it seems as though we're going to have a couple of thunderstorms working its way into the forecast in the afternoon hours, but look at those daytime high temperatures right there in the 80s and the 90s, pardon me, picking up at 92 degrees on Monday, and we're not leaving the 90s anytime soon. The nighttime temperatures very muggy as well. We're going to keep you in the upper 70s to low 80s. Royston.
Thank you very much, Basil. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.